You guys, I am dying right now. So we have a lot of news to break down because this whole Russian MAGA propaganda story is snowballing into something much, much bigger. I want to play you some clips of Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tim Pool and see what you guys think. But I am sitting here laughing because I was reading this article. U.S. conservative influencers say they are victims of Russian disinformation campaign, and we'll read this article. It's from The Guardian, but they use these three pictures. They say Tim Pool, Dave Ruben, and Benny Johnson address the allegations that a company they were associated with has been paid to publish videos with messages in favor of Russia. But the thing is, that is Dave Ruben on the left. That is Benny Johnson on the right, but that's not Tim Pool in the middle. They just found a picture of a random dude with a beanie and glasses. That is not Tim Pool. Am I going crazy? They just used a random picture of a random dude, and I was sitting here laughing my ass off. But let's get to the real news. There's actual important news to break down. Could these influencers go to jail? Could influencers like Dave Ruben, Benny Johnson, and fake Tim Pool go to jail? Well, the answer seems to be yes. It could very well happen. This article reads, U.S. officials charged Kalashnikov and Afanasia with conspiracy to violate FARA, which carries a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison, and conspiracy to commit money laundering, which carries a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. And there are rumors that this could go downstream and the actual influencers themselves could end up in prison. I have reliable sources telling me that this could happen. Is it going to happen 100%? We don't know, but it could. On to this tweet of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Before I play this video, all that I ask is that you leave a like and make sure you subscribe to the Mockler channel to boost this pro-democracy message. But Marjorie Taylor Greene is claiming that the Ukrainian government is waging a war on Christianity. This is very similar rhetoric to what Tim Pool has been saying about Ukraine being the enemy of America. I'm not saying that Marjorie Taylor Greene is paid off by Russia at all, but her rhetoric does mirror the people who were paid off by Russia, which might even be worse. She's doing this for free.
He's talking about, confiscating assets from the Russian people, just like you said. Well, that's pretty much illegal. They're having a lot of problems with that, and Europe does not want to do it, and that's where most of those assets are. But let's talk about what this really is, Steve. This is a war on Christianity. The Ukrainian government is attacking Christians. The Ukrainian government is executing priests. Russia is not doing that. They're not attacking Christianity. As a matter of fact, they seem to be protecting it. So that's something else that's clear and obvious to many people that are looking closely at what's going on.
Okay, she just lied. Those were all Kremlin talking points. I mean, since the full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine in 2022, Russia has destroyed 660 churches, killed many Christians, destroyed structures belonging to Protestants. Russia is the one that is waging this war on Christianity. I'm not a Christian, but it's still disgusting that Marjorie Taylor Greene is trying to leverage this crisis to spread Kremlin propaganda. And if Marjorie isn't being paid by the Kremlin, that is almost more sad. She's selling out our country for free when she has a position of power. She was elected and people trust her to represent them, but she's only representing Moscow right now. And every time I open Twitter and scroll through it, it's just a bunch of clips like this one of Marjorie Taylor Greene spreading Russian propaganda about Ukraine, about Kamala, about NATO, about everything. And that is why advertisers plan to withdraw from X in record numbers. It could finally be happening. This story is wild. A record number of firms plan to cut advertising spending on X next year because of concerns that extreme content on the platform could damage their brands, dealing another blow to the financial fortunes of Elon Musk's social media company. A global survey by market research firm Kantar found that a net 26% of marketers plan to decrease their spending on X in 2025, and they cite brand safety. Quote, X has changed so much in the recent years and can be unpredictable from one day to the next. It's difficult to feel confident about your brand safety in that environment. I mean, we have seen tweets from actual Nazis. There's some dude named like Trump Hitler 69 420 or whatever, and he goes around and says disgusting stuff, and he hasn't been banned. This is some account that is going viral because people are like, why is this guy allowed on X? So I'm not surprised that advertisers are pulling out. Destiny said, LMAO, Timcast, Dave Ruben, and Benny Johnson almost earned more in a single year from this Russian money laundering scheme than Hunter Biden earned from his entire entire 6 years working on the board of Burisma, and he cites the actual source document itself, the indictment that we will read on stream, approximately $9.7 million. U.S. Company 1 dispersed most of these funds to its contracted commentators, including $8.7 million to the production companies of Commentator 1, Commentator 2, and Commentator 3. Those are the three commentators we were just talking about. So again, they earned more in a single year from Russia than Hunter Biden earned legitimately working on the board of Ukrainian energy company Burisma, which, let me remind you, Hunter Biden was absolutely qualified to do that. Tim Cass, Dave Ruben, and Benny Johnson are not qualified to talk about politics. And so here's a clip of what happened when a reporter reached out to Russia Today to see what they had to say about this.
We reached out to RT for comment, and the company responded in part with the following: ha, 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 ha.
I'm sure that was much funnier in the original Russian, but for us, it's not funny. This is deadly serious, and we are going to treat it accordingly.
It's incredibly serious, and they're laughing at Donald Trump. They're laughing at MAGA Republicans, and they're laughing at the influencers they completely conned. Now, Donald Trump wants to sow distrust, wants to spread disinformation, and Elon Musk is sitting there so happy that he has a stooge with so much power in the US, and now they are just laughing in our faces. It is absolutely disgusting. This brings us back to this article. This is not Tim Pool. I'm telling you guys, this is not Tim Pool in that middle photo, unless my eyes are deceiving me. A number of high-profile conservative influencers in the U.S. have said they are victims of an alleged Russian disinformation campaign after the Biden administration accused Moscow of carrying out a sustained campaign to influence the November's presidential elections. And let's skip over to the reaction of Tim Pool, who is just freaking out, slithering. You can pinpoint the exact moment that his lawyer tells him to stop, and Tim Pool deleted this tweet. Tim Pool deleted this tweet after he posted it. He said, "My statement regarding allegations in the leaked DOJ indictment. Should these allegations prove true, I, as well as the other personalities and commentators, were deceived and are victims. I'm going to say the same thing that I said about Marjorie Taylor Greene. If he was deceived, that means he thought he was spreading Russian propaganda for free if he didn't know that Russia was paying him. That makes it worse." He said, "I cannot speak for anyone else at the company as to what they do or what they were instructed. The Culture War podcast was licensed by Tenet Media. It existed before any license agreement with Tenet, and it will continue to exist after any such agreement expires. Never at any point did anyone other than I have full editorial control of the show, and the contents of the show are often apolitical." That is not true. He is sitting there raging, banging his fist against the desk, saying Ukraine is the enemy of America. And I don't know, does Tim Pool have a humiliation kink? Because this is a dude that said that Donald Trump would win in a 50-state landslide in 2020, and after President Biden won, he just never brought it up again. He's a dude that always says there will be a civil war coming up, and now I can't tell what's worse, if he knew that he was taking Russian money and spreading this propaganda, or if he didn't know it was Russian money and he was just spreading propaganda for free, selling out our country for free. The cherry on top with all of this is that after this happened, after he acted like a tough guy and said, "You can eat my Irish ass" at the end of the tweet was deleted. His lawyer absolutely told him, "Hey, you can't be talking like this. You can't be incriminating yourself." Tim Pool is acting tough, but he is totally freaking out behind the scenes, lawyering up and making sure that he doesn't go to prison, which he very well could.